Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. How can you support? Yeah, I'm the jackass. Can you hear me?
Yep.
How can you support Netanyahu when Netanyahu is literally a worse Putin?
Yeah, so he's not deliberately targeting civilians. He's not kidnapping hundreds of thousands of children to brainwash them into thinking that they were always Russian or Israeli. He's not fighting a war of aggression where he just invaded, a sovereign nation for no reason. He's only fighting a terrorist group in retaliation for October 7th. So how is he in any way relatable to Putin?
Well, the thing with the special military operation in Ukraine, it's been since 2014, and the conflict has been going on between the Ukrainian right-wing government with the Russian separatists for 8 years. So obviously, Putin will have to try to stop it any way he could. But the Minsk Accords couldn't do any help, and all other treaties and agreements Ukraine broke, probably because America didn't want
What
peace
the
in the
fuck do you
region.
mean
So
Ukraine broke?
yeah, the Minsk Accords. They tried the Minsk Accords. It didn't work out. Putin was left no choice to help the
Wait,
ethnic
wait,
Russian.
explain what that is.
The Minsk Accords.
Yeah,
How
tell
do
me
you
what that
not?
is.
How do you not know what the Minsk
Yeah,
Accords
tell
is?
me what that is.
Were a series of international agreements sought to end the Donbass war between armed Russian separatists and the right-wing Ukrainian government.
Yeah, so the reason the Ukrainian government was fighting against Russian separatists is because they're Russian separatists. So I don't
Yeah,
know what the fuck you're talking about. Russia
they're
was
ethnic
arming
Russian.
them. Russia was giving them weapons. They were putting these people in. They also tried to infiltrate the government in Ukraine to to encourage these Russian separatists to get control of the Donbass region. Part of this was also to prevent Ukraine from being able to join NATO. So what the fuck are you talking about?
The Donbass is majority ethnic Russians. Of course,
Yeah,
they
because
don't
of a
want.
fucking genocide that occurred that the Russia committed, and they replaced them with ethnic Russians. So if China
What
came over, so
genocide?
wait, if China came over to the United States, genocided Texas, and replaced them with ethnic Chinese, do you think because most of the people living in Texas are ethnic Chinese, that means China has some sort of valid claim to that territory?
These are people with Ukrainian citizenship who just speak Russian. They're ethnic Russians. They declared
Yeah,
independence.
because of yeah, so they Russia committed a genocide against Ukrainians in that region and replaced them with ethnic Russians. So you're saying because a genocide was committed and they were replaced
So
with
what
ethnic
genocide?
Russians, that should be part of Russia now?
The genocide was committed by the Ukrainians against the ethnic Russians for 8 years. And Richard, you never said a thing.
Oh, okay. So you're
How come
retarded.
you never?
Okay, I got it.
You were, how come you never spoke a word for 8 years until 2022? Then all of a sudden you're a hardcore Ukrainian
What are you
supporter?
talking
Doesn't
about? I
make any sense.
criticized the invasion of the
Crimea,
Ukrainian peninsula. What are you talking about?
Crimea.
Yeah.
There was no video. I never seen you post a video about Crimea.
Yeah, I didn't post a video. I talked about it on stream.
Well, I guess no one no. I guess it's gone now because your channel was wiped out or whatever. But the thing is, the Crimea, they also declared independence. It was a majority. It was like a landslide vote
Yeah, they
to
didn't.
declare.
No, no, they didn't. It was a sham election. Everybody knew it was a sham election.
Well,
They
it's
would
like how
literally go door to door with Russian military officers with fucking machine guns. They had Russian military officers with machine guns at the polling areas, and everybody knows Russia's elections are fucking shams. How do you think Putin's gotten elected year after year?
because
It's because they just throw away ballots and make up numbers.
that's completely false, Richard. You,
Cool. Yeah,
it
right.
sounds like you're
So
talking
you're
about the
telling me
Ukraine.
Russia has fair and safe elections.
You're telling me Ukraine
You're
does,
telling
because
me Russia has fair, safe elections.
I think they both are have their issues, but I think
Wait,
they
wait,
both
wait,
try
wait,
to.
wait. Are you telling me Russia has fair and safe elections?
I never said that.
Okay,
I
so
never
then you
said that.
agree that the election was a sham.
But if you want to talk about sham elections, Ukraine has banned 11 opposition political
Yeah,
parties.
because they're
If
Russian
someone,
separatists, you idiot. They
well,
were
so
they're
if
they're Russian separatists, and they were basically Putin's spies.
well, if they're so
They were all
popular,
infiltrated by Russian agents. That's why they banned them. If there was a political party in the United States that was infiltrated by China, that was a pro-China party that wanted to instate Xi Jinping as the ruler of the United States, what do you think the U.S. would do? Oh, I guess they're
what?
not in favor of democratic elections because they're not going to allow pro-China separatists to fucking run in the election that's working for Xi Jinping. I guess democracy doesn't exist in the United States either. Like, what are you
Well, I think
talking about?
what I'm talking about, it seems like the Ukrainians know that for sure in the Donbass, these political parties would be more popular than their right-wing Nazi Azov politicians. So of course they're gonna ban them.
Okay, that is the most retarded thing you've ever fucking said in this debate so far. So if you actually look at polling data, no right-wing government has ever gotten more than 2% support in any Ukrainian election. So that's
Oh,
retarded. The idea that the
but
majority of Ukrainians would support a far right-wing Nazi regime that has never been shown in any polling data. Show me one
why?
single fucking political poll in Ukraine where any far right government has received more than 2% support. You're an idiot. So,
You're an
secondly,
idiot.
again, why in the hell would Ukraine allow pro Russian separatists that are working as Russian agents to run in a democratic election? That's just idiotic. Why would the United States do that? Why would Canada do that? No sovereign
Well,
nation would ever allow for something like that.
if something that would happen, they wouldn't need to because nobody would vote them for it in the first place. But the Ukrainian government knows that these
Yeah,
parties
so
are going to
wait. Are you telling me any other sovereign nation like the United States, like Canada, like anywhere in Europe would allow a foreign nation state or a party that was invaded by a foreign nation state that is working for somebody like Xi Jinping or Putin, whose intention is to create a political party to wipe away the country's sovereignty? You're telling me any other nation would allow that?
listen, why isn't Donetsk and Luhansk represented in the Ukrainian parliament? There's a reason why it's not, because they know that these political
Yeah,
parties
because they're
would win
pro-Russian
if people
separatists and they're fucking working as Russian agents. Why again? Why would any sovereign nation allow something like that?
because let's say hypothetically a country with an ethnic majority such as the Russians existed, of course there will be the political parties representing a party that's more pro-Russian.
No. They're not just pro-Russian. They're actual Russian agents working under Putin. So that's bullshit.
According to what? You're asking me for sources. What is your sources on this?
I don't have anything fucking ready right now.
Oh, you're asking me to get, oh, what's your Minsk Accords, blah, blah, blah. You have no problem with getting...
You said that Ukraine is run by fucking Nazis and they're all far right wing, and I pointed out to you there hasn't ever been a political poll where a right wing party has ever received more than 2% support from the public.
Let's just look at the current president of Ukraine, Zelensky. He just was in your Canadian Parliament applauding a former neo-Nazi who collaborated with Adolf Hitler.
Okay. So Zelensky, who's Jewish, by the way, you're accusing him of being a Nazi, even though he's fucking Jewish. And by the way, Ukraine has to be one of the most Nazi-hating countries on the planet. The Nazis absolutely decimated Ukraine. They eradicated Ukraine of fucking Jews. Ukraine is one of the most Nazi-hating places on the fucking planet. And by the way, it was the fucking Speaker of the House that who didn't do his due diligence, who's responsible for having that fucking Nazi in fucking Parliament and having everybody clap. What the fuck does this have to do with Zelensky being a right-wing Nazi?
Well, if he's such a anti-Nazi guy, he wouldn't clap for Even the parliament speaker said this guy fought.
Okay, so you're saying the
for
entire Canadian government is made up of Nazis because everybody in the House clapped?
Well, most of them are idiots, but Zelensky.
Okay, wait. You said if somebody clapped in Parliament, that means they're a Nazi. So every single member of the Canadian Parliament are Nazis because everybody clapped?
I was speaking specifically about Zelensky. I didn't speak about the Canadian.
So do you have any evidence that Zelensky knew that this guy was a Nazi and clapped for him?
The parliament speaker said he fought.
Do you have any evidence that Zelensky knew this guy was a Nazi and clapped for him?
He said he fought the Russians, right, in the parliament.
Okay, so do you have any evidence that Zelensky clapped for this guy because he's a Nazi?
Well, I just gave you my evidence.
Okay, so apparently Zelensky, who's ethnically Jewish, is a Nazi. That's what we're going with now.
And he has yet to ban the Azov Battalion, a hardcore right-wing Nazi.
Yeah, so Azov Battalion is not a Nazi battalion. That is Russian propaganda. Azov Battalion absolutely annihilated Russian troops on the Crimean Peninsula. So then Russia was butthurt about it, and then they accused them all of being Nazis. Azov Battalion is not a Nazi battalion, you fucking moron.
Just look up Azov Brigade. It's the first thing that says it's a far right-wing militia.
Yeah, that's great. So Azov Battalion is not a Nazi battalion. That is Russian-bought bullshit because they were butthurt that Azov Battalion absolutely wiped out Russian troops in the Crimean Peninsula. That's where that whole thing came from. That is where all that information came from. You can track all of these fucking stories where they originated from. They originated from out of Russia. Russia was the one accusing Azov Battalion of being Nazis because they absolutely decimated Russian troops in the fucking Crimean Peninsula.
Oh, like they decimated them in Mariupol, where the Chechen battalions wiped out the Azov battalions right out of the steel plant in Mariupol.
That's great. Again, the origin of when Azov Battalion was accused of being Nazis is all coming from fucking Russia.
It's just look at their Wikipedia page. It's the first thing that says it's a far right-wing militia.
That's great. All the information. Okay, Wikipedia. Yes, Wikipedia is the all-knowing source. So again, there is no credible evidence that Azov Battalion is a Nazi battalion. All of that information was coming out of Russia after they were absolutely destroyed by Azov Battalion in the Crimean Peninsula. That's where all that information came from. I don't care about fucking Wikipedia. Show me any credible evidence that Azov Battalion is a fucking Nazi battalion.
I'll just send it in the Discord right now about multiple articles stating that they have right-wing Nazi
wings. Sure. Show me.
And you're talking about...
show me. Show me. Yeah, link it.
Yeah, CNN right here. Right here. Like, give me one. And also, you're talking about Crimea. It's not like who controls Crimea right now. It's not the Ukrainians. So
yeah, I know.
I'm not sure. Who got wiped out? I don't know what you're talking about.
Azov Battalion absolutely decimated Russian troops in the Crimean Peninsula. They weren't able to take over the entire peninsula, but they fucking decimated Russian troops in the Crimean Peninsula. That's where all that Nazi rhetoric came from fucking Russians.
Let's not talk about how the Wagner Group dealt with the...
Yeah, and Wagner Group is the fucking Nazis. Yeah. Why do you think they're called Wagner?
It's a private militia, actually, so they'll hire anyone. Doesn't matter if you're...
Yeah, so the leader of the Wagner Group is a Nazi. That's why he called it Wagner. He literally called it Wagner because he's considering it Hitler's orchestra. The guy has Nazi tattoos all over his fucking body. So yeah, Wagner is run by fucking Nazis, and they also hire Nazis.
No, they hire Muslims too.
Yeah, and Muslims are fucking Nazis. They want to eradicate the world of Jews. Hitler also loved the religion of Islam. He actually said, I wish Germans could adopt the religion of Islam because Islam hates Jews. It's also a war religion where you're supposed to go to war with people who you don't agree with. Hitler also was in league with Muslim leaders at the time to help recruit for the SS. So yeah, Muslims are oftentimes Nazis.
Well, like Stepan Bandera, who collaborated with the Nazis against the Russians World War II, who is an idol to the vast majority of westernized Ukrainians. You go to Kyiv, there's multiple statues of Stepan Bandera, who was responsible for killing how much Poles in World War II, how many Jewish people. and you're talking now. You support
I
Ukraine.
don't know about any of that, but where's the shit about Azov Battalion?
It's not letting me send in the chat. Should I go
Give me a second.
right?
I don't know. Let me see if I can just make a new channel.
Mm.
How do you create channel text? Let me see. I'll put it links.
But I gotta run now. But I'll be gladly to join you, debate you more.
So put it in the links channel.
Links channel. Yeah, I see new video alert live. Okay. Right here, this is by CNN. Just saying right now.
Far-right battalion has key role in Ukraine's resistance. Its neo-Nazi history is being exploited by Putin. Russia speaker, so wait, let me see. Vladimir Putin, blah, 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 protect Russian speakers from genocide at hands of neo-Nazis. Speech broadcasted before the invasion began. We will seek to denazify Ukraine, ignoring the fact that the country's president, Vladimir Zelensky, is Jewish. For the Kremlin, Exhibit A is the special mission, is the far-right Azov movement, part of the military and political landscape in Ukraine for nearly a decade. Azov's military and political wings formally separated in 2016 when the far-right National Corps Party was founded. Azov Battalion had by then been integrated into the Ukrainian National Guard, an effective fighting force that's very much involved in the current conflict. Battalion has a history of neo-Nazi leanings, which had not been entirely extinguished by its integration in the Ukrainian military. In its heyday, as an anonymous militia, the Azov Battalion was associated with white supremacist neo-Nazi ideology and insignia. It was especially active in and around Mariupol in 2014-2015. CNN teams in the area at the time reported Azov's embrace of neo-Nazi emblems and paraphernalia. After its integration of the Ukrainian National Guard, amid discussions in the U.S. Congress about designating the Azov movement a foreign terrorist organization, Ukraine's then Minister of Affairs, Arsen Azkov, defended the unit. Shameful information campaign about the alleged spread of Nazi ideology among Azov members is a deliberate attempt to discredit Azov unit and the National Guard of Ukraine, he told the newspaper Ukraz something Pravda 2019. The battalion still operates as a relatively anonymous entity. It has been prominent in defending Mariupol in recent weeks, and its resistance has been widely praised by members of the government. For Putin, who has falsely claimed Ukraine's government is run by drug addicts and neo-Nazis, Azov prevents an obvious target. Moscow has given the government an outsized role in the conflict, routinely accusing of human rights abuses. March 7th, Russia's ambassador to the United Nations blamed the Azov regiment for blocking an evacuation corridor in the besieged port city, saying they were using citizens as human shields. That claim has been repeated, consistent in Russian media. Same day, Azov Major Denis Pronsk said in the video, shared something on Twitter, attempts to organize a safe corridor, blah, blah, civilian people failed because several actions of the enemy Russian forces in the assembly area. After the bombing of Mariupol theater that was sheltering civilians and had children written in Russia on the ground on either side of the building, the Russian defense minister accused militants of the National Azov Battalion for carrying out the attack. In the Russia disinformation playbook, the Azov movement is a tempting target, one where fact and disinformation can be elided. The existence of an identifiable Azov movement within Ukraine armed forces, an effective element at that, poses uncomfortable question for the Ukrainian government and Western allies, which continues to send arms to the country. CNN has reached out to Ukraine's defense ministry for comment. In the not too distant past, Azov's membership openly espoused white supremacist views and cultivated links with military-minded groups and individuals in the West. 2010, blah, 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 the leader of the National Corps, the Azov movement's political wing, reportedly said the goal was to lead white races of the world in the final crusade. Yeah, so this is all bullshit from back in 2010, 2014. So again, all of this Nazi rhetoric right now about the Azov Battalion is all coming out of Russia. They're using it as propaganda to prevent the United States from funding Ukraine. That's all it is. Again, there's not currently any evidence of widespread Nazi ideology within the Azov Battalion. This has all come immediately after Azov Battalion massacred fucking Russian troops in the Crimean Peninsula. That's where all of this fucking originated from. So, and again, Russia has been doing this to disincentivize sending military aid to Ukraine.
I can send you multiple articles before the special military operation.
I don't fucking care.
Oh, you don't care because it doesn't fit your narrative, Richard. Come on, you know there's hardcore Nazi sympathizers in Western Ukraine just by fact that there's multiple shrines and statues of Nazi collaborator Stepan Bandera, and he was responsible for killing hundreds of thousands.
That's great. Again, Ukraine. So again, if you look at Ukraine, they hate Nazis. There is no political reason for any of them to. There's no political reason for any of them to be sympathetic to Nazis. There has not been a single far right-wing party in Ukraine that's gotten 2% of support.
It's Zelensky.
Yeah, that's great. Zelensky, the Jewish guy, is a Nazi. Right. That's a cool story. Yeah, that's a cool story. That's a cool story. Yeah, Zelensky, the Jew who's had family members that died in the Holocaust. Yeah, he's the Nazi. Cool story. That's why Putin worked so closely with Wagner Group, who was run by a fucking Nazi. Right. Putin yeah, right. A private military run by fucking Nazis who hires Nazis.
You can only name one guy, Utkin. That's it, Dmitry Utkin. Wagner hires anyone from any background or religion. It doesn't matter.
It's just the leader of the group who's a Nazi. That's the only person you can actually name. Yeah, that's the only person you can actually name. It's also not like Wagner Group committed Nazi shit during the Ukrainian war. It's not like they captured. It's not like they captured POWs and brutally fucking tortured them, cutting off their fucking genitals and then letting them bleed to death or anything. Yeah, they only have a Nazi leader, but Wagner Group, they're fine people. They're good old boys.
They're a private military. They have no espoused political position other than what they're hired to fight for. Same thing with Blackwater. Same thing with Blackwater fighting for America. They're fighting on behalf of Americans. Obviously, they were right wing.
Okay, so you make up excuses for Nazi militias when they're fighting for Russia. Azov Battalion, they're all filled with Nazis. Yeah, they had far right wing members back in 2010. Right now, I don't see any widespread evidence that Azov Battalion is a Nazi battalion, quote unquote. Again, the only reason this rhetoric is going around is because Russia's butthurt that Azov Battalion fucking decimated them in the Crimean Peninsula.
Well, that's why they
by the way, you said you wanted to debate me on fucking Palestine, so...
Well, let me get back to you because I'm running out of time, but I'll be glad to debate you more. But do yourself a favor, just go to any Ukrainian rally in Toronto area. I'll guarantee you, you're going to see black and red Nazi flags that are...
I'm sure, right.
Yeah,
I've seen tons of that. That's why it's all over the news everywhere that... Oh, Ukrainians are all Nazis, right? You're only hearing that from Russian media. You're only seeing that from Russian media. So maybe you should just watch less TikTok. You're going to see a lot of stupid bullshit. You're going to see a lot of stupid bullshit because it's promoted by the Chinese Communist Party.
I know you're a Zionist. I know you like to believe whatever fits your narrative.
I'm a Zionist. So do you believe in a two-state solution?
I feel that it should be up to the Palestinian, the indigenous population.
Do you believe in a two-state solution? Yes or no?
No, I do not.
Okay, so you want Israel to be completely eliminated. You want Israel to be destroyed as a state, which would result in a second Holocaust. But I'm the one supporting Nazism. Right, you're supporting people who support a fucking radical terrorist group that wants to eradicate the world of Jews. You want the destruction of Israel, but Richard, you're supporting Nazism when you support a political stance that would result in a second Holocaust. Cool story, dude.
No, listen. You support the right-wing extremist Netanyahu. Has how many Palestinians have killed under his regime compared to how many Israelis died from Hamas? It's night and day the difference. It's 100-to-1
Oh
ratio.
my God. I don't know. Okay, so should Israel just get rid of the Iron Dome so that more
No,
Jews
what they
die,
should
so that
do
they
is
have,
pack up their luggage and go
so
back
that
to
it can
Europe.
be, the deaths can be equivalent? So should Israel just let more of their citizens die? They should get rid of the Iron Dome. They should get rid of the border wall so that terrorists can shoot rockets and climb over to Israel and murder more civilians. That way, the deaths can be even, right? Then, like,
No,
Israel will have a better argument for killing, Palestinians because, oh, well, 30,000 Jews died, so it's okay if we kill 30,000 Palestinians? Is that how it works?
No, it works by going back to where you came from. Where did the Zionists came from? They come from Europe. They should pack their luggage and go back to where they came from. This is Muslim
Oh,
land.
okay. So do you think Canada and the United States shouldn't exist because they stole Native American land? Would you support like Native Americans murdering and raping fucking women as this like resistance movement? Should every Canadian, every American move back to Europe? Like, I this is just insane.
Certainly, from the Native Americans' perspective, they should.
Okay. So you're just retarded. Okay, got it.
No, you are supporting a Zionist regime. Richard, you're not even Jewish yourself. You're just a Canadian
Yeah,
citizen.
right. I think Jewish people have a right to exist. I think Israel is one of the. I think
government.
Israel is protecting Jews from facing a second Holocaust. And
What
yeah,
about the
they have a right to
Palestinian
live
Holocaust?
there. They have ancestry there.
Palestinians?
Jews were living in that region for 2,000 years until they were kicked out by the fucking Romans. That's one of the reasons why Jews moved to that location. On top of that, Palestine didn't exist as a state. It was run by the Ottoman Empire, which was then defeated by the fucking British. I don't know, like, I don't understand, like, what's the actual argument for Palestinian Arabs controlling all the land and the state of Israel not existing? Like, what's the actual argument?
Why can't this is Muslim land? They had an indigenous
Oh,
population.
okay, so we hate Jews. So Arabs hate Jews. That's the basis for getting rid of Israel, because Arabs hate Jews.
The Holocaust happened in Europe, so
Yeah, so Arabs hate Jews, and that's your argument for the state of Israel not existing.
Do ultra-Orthodox Jews hate Jews? Because last I checked, they are the actual religious Jews.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's great. So your argument for the state of Israel not existing is Arabs hate Jews because they're Muslim. That's why Israel shouldn't exist.
Explain why the Iranian government hasn't got rid of the Jewish minority in Iran. These Jewish people have been living in Iran for thousands of years.
Yeah, right. They just have to pay extra fucking taxes and don't have the same rights as Muslim citizens. They've been living peacefully for all this time. It's just that, occasionally they have to suffer massacres. They're imprisoned if they express their religious beliefs in the wrong way in public, and they have to pay extra taxes. But they've been living peacefully. Right. I love hearing those stories.
I can send you multiple articles and documentaries about how the Jewish people have lived peacefully.
Yeah, peacefully. It's just that they can't practice their religious beliefs openly. They have to pay extra tax. Same rights as Muslim citizens. They've been living peacefully for all this time. It's just that, occasionally they have to suffer massacres. They're imprisoned if they express their religious beliefs in the wrong way in public, and they have to pay extra taxes. But they've been living peacefully. Right. I love hearing those stories.
I can send you multiple articles and documentaries about how the Jewish people have lived peacefully.
Yeah, peacefully. It's just that they can't practice their religious beliefs openly. They have to pay extra taxes, or else they're either jailed or killed. Right. They've been living peacefully.
They have synagogues in Iran. They haven't been bulldozed, unlike the Palestinian homes that have been bulldozed by the Zionist regime.
Gee, I wonder why they are bulldozed. I wonder if it has anything to do with them committing fucking war against them. Gee, I wonder.
Why did 9/11 happen, Richard? History didn't start on 9/11.
What do you mean, why did 9/11 happen? It's because of a fucking Islamic jihadist terrorist group.
No, it's because America occupied and bombed Afghanistan and Sudan.
No. They're Islamic jihadists. That's why. It's
Listen,
written in their religion that they must commit jihad and go to war against other nations to spread Islam.
gotta look at the
That
root
is
cause.
that is why they attacked America. That is why all these terrorist groups exist. That's why they're all fucking assholes.
No, you gotta look at the root cause. We have to deal with the root.
Yeah, the root cause is Islam. The root cause is Islam.
It's America and its foreign policy. People are waking up. People hate America. Wake up, Richard. Nobody likes the American imperialism.
Right. Nobody likes American imperialism. That's why they're all trying to move to the United States. That's why all of these people are all trying to flee their homeland and then find some sort of way of living in America because everybody hates America.
Zionists should join you there in America then. Zionists should pack up their things and go back.
Yeah,
to
that wouldn't
Europe
create a state.
and
That wouldn't create a Jewish state.
Listen, you got to realize, you got to look at the root causes. It was because of America's support of the apartheid state Israel. It was because of the occupation.
Yeah, apartheid. So please explain to me how Israel is an apartheid state. Are you there? You there? Okay, I think he fucked off or something. All right. Well, that was stupid.